how the West was fun. How the West was fun, right? So we have a great game that you guys can play with your cubs. You can either do it inside the dens and have as a pack meeting. What you can do is you can have the dens separate and each of them do a different type of rodeo. So this is the Cub Scout rodeo that we're going to put together. There's different. What do you usually see when you're at a rodeo?
Bulls.
Clown.
Horses, cattle, clowns.
Cowboys.
What? Bull riding. Okay. Cowboys. Awesome. So you can have your dens divide. Each den can come up with a different game that they can play. You can use carnival games as a Western theme. You can put on an actual rodeo and have each den do each part of the rodeo. So you can have one den, tigers or bears or wolves or whoever, have each den divide up and make a different rodeo section. So we'll have on the website, on our blog, we'll have all of this written out because we didn't print off any of this. Because like Ms. Christie said, we're kind of we're getting used to the new schedule here. So we have making horses out of pool noodles. I will attest to this. It's actually a really cute idea. You take a pool noodle, you're going to fold the top of the head in half, push it together, tie it off with some tape or some rope, and boom, instant horse. You add a few yarn to the back of the horse, and that's the hair. And so you can have the kids either make pool noodle horses, or you can have the old-fashioned stick horses with like the sock or the bag for the head that's tied onto the end. You can use the kids to have the horses race around. One of the sections or the games could be the barrel races. You can have them have either cones, or you guys, or if anybody in your den actually is a cowboy or a farmer and they have the large ring barrels, then you can go ahead and bring those outside then and have them set up in an obstacle course for a barrel race, and each kid can take their turns going through the barrel races. We have the Pony Express relay. You have the 2 horses in one bag filled with the crumbled newspaper, like I said, to put on the stick. Let's see. Divide the scouts into teams, and each team is into 2 halves of the dens. You have them stand at opposite ends of the room or the playing area that you have, and each team or the den has a bag filled with crumbled newspaper. When the leader gives the signal, the first rider in each den grabs the bag from the floor, climbs on his pony that he's made, races across the room to the other side, puts down the bag, and the first rider on that side picks it up and races back. And this is also a really good opportunity that you can talk about the Pony Express and the way that how everything worked. It's a great learning experience for them. The relay continues until each rider has a turn and his den to complete the race wins. We have barrel races, like I said. We also have beanbag toss, the wheelbarrow races. Do you remember back in the day? I know whenever I was in elementary school, you paired up into teams. One of you was on the floor and your other friend was picking you up by the ankles and racing like that. I always hated those races. Those were not my friends. I hated them. But they were still so much fun because you were always falling on your face. At least that was me. I was always falling on my face, trying to at least walk down. So that's a lot of fun for the kids as well. Sack races, just regular burlap sacks, what we used to do through obstacle courses. So there's sack races, and a game that I've never heard of. I'm sorry? Three-legged race as well. That's a good one. Pass the corn. I've never heard of this before. So you have one dried corn cob for each team. You divide up the scouts into equal teams, and each team passes the corn cob from scout to scout without using any hands. So it's kind of like the ball trick, or the ball game where you have to try to pass the ball or the orange for a person without using their hands. So it's just past the corn. It's the same thing. It's the same concept, but just using and dried up corn cob instead. The corn cob, if the corn cob touches the ground or your hands are used, the team must restart by passing from the beginning of their line. Okay, we have paint the cow. Or I'm sorry, paint the brand on the cow. A large cow cutout with an X marking the spot, kind of like pin the tail on the donkey, or what we use with Miss Barbie, the mustache on the cowboy. So that'll be a fun one as well, especially for the little kids. For the tigers would be a really good one. Cow patty toss. That's always so much fun. You have your foam cow patties, and you have your targets across the way that they'll have to. It's kind of like a ring toss. And armadillo tag. One player is it, and his goal is to chase and tag free players. Free players are only safe when they lie on their backs with their feet in the air. If a player is tagged when he is not in the safe position, that player becomes it.
We can play that if y'all want.
I'm like, that sounds like so much fun.
I'm saying we should have played that. We should have thought about that.
Snake in my boot. 2 buckets or plastic containers, or 2 cowboy boots or containers decorated to look like boots, and fake snakes or rubbers or plastic, rubber or plastic, or the fabric snakes. So either of those would work. And then 2 pairs of tongs. You fill the 2 cowboy boots with an equal number of fake snakes. Divide scouts into 2 teams and have them stand behind the starting line. Place a boot at the line in front of each team, and at the signal, the first player of each team removes the snake from their boot with the tong and races to put it in the other team's boot. And back and forth until the last team wins, or the first team wins who fills their boots the quickest. Okay.
All of those ideas are in the PAC meeting planning guide. If you don't get those, you should just put in PAC meeting planning guide, and it comes up really nice.
We'll have them listed on
We
the
will
blog
be.
as
It will
well.
be on the blog as well. Yes. Do you have any ideas for games for How the West Was Fun?
That we haven't mentioned. Does anybody have anything that they maybe tried themselves or? All right, you guys are gotten too quiet now.
I know, right?
This wasn't especially a game, but we made little fake rifles with the cutout wood and the clothespin and the rubber band.
Oh, okay.
So you have target practice with them.
Now the caveat with that one is you cannot shoot each other
Oh, yeah.
because that's BSA policy. You can make rubber band guns as long as they don't shoot each other.
Or
Which
have targets that look like any type of humans or.
I mean, that's the caveat that BSA has, is that you have to have targets. Yeah, I know we think that's not a problem until you start talking to other units and other councils, and apparently that's a problem. It's very interesting what we learned when we were over there. What were you going to say, Mike?
I think you can't even aim them at each other.
No, you can't even aim them at each other.
And
No.
can't have any type of
No.
target
So are
papers that look like
is
humans.
BSA kind of saying you shouldn't even do something like that?
No, they are not saying that. What they're saying is you cannot aim it. It comes down to, teaching gun safety, which is what every kid in our day used to have. I mean, my dad taught me, you don't aim this gun, loaded or unloaded, you don't know. You don't aim it at anyone. And so we're passing that on. This is a toy, but if you ever get them into that mindset of it's just a toy, the fear is that will linger on into that this is just a toy and now I have a toy gun and now someone around me is dead. So that's kind of their theory. It's a good theory, but that is the BSA policy. Because I'm looking into that because I'm going to be doing Twilight Camp, and I wanted to do darts, and I was like, not really sure darts are allowed. So I'm still in the research phase. I'm being told yes, as long as we don't throw them at each other, and I was going, I'm not really sure who would want to throw darts at each other, but okay. You would want to throw darts at each other?
No.
Okay, well, you raised your hand like you wanted to.
We got a guy, we did this at Tres Raiders at Boy Scout camp, and you make little 8-inch PVC pipe, put a marshmallow in the end.
Yes.
But even those, yes, even those have to have a target. You can't shoot marshmallows at each other either. So,
You can't shoot each other with water guns, but you can spray each other down with a water hose.
yes.
Because it's not a gun.
Right. But again, if you think about that too, though, I mean, if we're gonna make well-rounded young men, they do need to know gun safety. And there is some thought processes that by having the toy guns and having the violent games, that our youth are losing that ability to think this is a real weapon. And so the BSA is just trying to be proactive in that and say, if it's a gun, just don't aim it at each other. Even water guns, yes, even super soakers, you can't use them. But I mean, I understand. It's a good policy because there aren't a lot of dads out there or moms out there teaching that anymore. And so this is going to be a really weird video.